Anyway, Night Shift 1999. Yay! The game I'm actually here to stream. And I changed my background color so that I don't have little green dots in my hat anymore. Uh. Yeah. Because I was like, oh no, I am against like monochromatique today. Let's go. We got CGs. Heck yeah. We got the promise of voices. That's exciting for us. Let's roll. Let's get started. Yeah, we got 2-bit today, boys. Sweet beats. King's Cross Station. Ooh, we're English. Who's that? Who's that? Who whispering? Oh, kebabs? We're definitely English. It's been a long time since I've been in a city like this one. Long enough that I can't recognize the cars and buildings anymore. Trams. Train. Trains I get too. Not much different than before, but these things? The roads are cramped more than the sidewalks. At least the pandemonium isn't anything different. In fact, the chaos seems organized compared to what it's been like in the past. There's still the odd fool to walk straight out into the street, but the braking is quicker, and there's no horses to contend with now. Shout out, by the way, I can make the text big. Oh my god. From one blind bitch to a game dev. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I looked through the lease I signed a couple weeks ago. It wasn't easy finding a place that doesn't care if you're employed or not, so I don't really know what to expect from my new dwelling. Money. That'll be another problem soon, too. I narrowly pass through the bustling bodies of people wandering the streets. It's getting quieter the further I walk, but there's still groups of partygoers clustered together. This close to people after... God, it's been too many years to count. All I've had is a crypt and a corpse for company. It's intoxicating. I turn a corner and there it is. My new home, dazzling with bright shining lights in every window. The building towers over the suburb for aeons, the tallest thing in the area, and I can't help my apprehension. All of these apartments, this close together, how many warm bodies are packed in there like sardines? Maybe the crypt was a better option. I walk through the sliding doors and get started. 10 floors is a way to go. Lofty ceilings, fully functional kitchenette, and plenty of room to grow. That's what the flyer had said when I picked it out. Apart from there being plenty of room to grow, it seems true to its word. I've had what meager belongings I could scrounge together sent over already. Boxes clutter the room, spread around without much thought or care. And, of course, a new bed. Since I've been asleep, there's been a boom in ease of sleep, of shopping. I was like, bed, the sleep. Oh, boom in the ease of sleeping. Good night, everybody. That's the stream. I never thought I'd see the day you could buy something over the phone. But humans are nothing if not industrious, especially when it comes to convenience. The world runs on it. The only issue now is the huge window stretching across the entirety of the studio. It's not going to be conducive to my particular lifestyle. Weaving through my clutter, I take in the scenery. It's such a shame to cover up this view. Oh, never mind, we Aussies. The hike up the stairs would be worth it if you could say good morning to the world each day. From up here you can see all the boats in the harbor lazily drifting on the sea. There's tiny illuminated dots in the distance over the bridge, moving carefully as people make their way to their own homes. The city is in perpetual movement, no matter where you look. I've missed all the fireworks, having been underground while everyone ushered in 1999. But it's still so bright out there, full of restless energy and the type of exuberance you only see once a year. I've never seen a city so bright before tonight. Every corner I look at is lit up, rivaling even the night sky itself. Actually, where are the stars? They've been dimmed in turn, turning the sky into a deep, endless blue. I wonder what it'll look like in another 20, 50, 100 years. Smog used to overshadow everything. Now, new gases do. I know with certainty that one day it'll suffocate itself into silence. Though who can say for sure that I'll be there to see that? No matter how many times I come back, I never feel any older. I'm always just as star-struck as a newborn, forced to learn everything over and over for eternity. Well, here goes try number 5. I've come well prepared for this. Grabbing the stack of paper from my backpack, I start sticking it to the glass panes. Goodbye, world. Hello, sanctuary. Well, it's a little hodgepodge, don't you think? Well, it's the first time I've done it in a while. It's nothing I'm unaccustomed to. Whenever, wherever, I've resettled. It's what I do before anything else. After all, there's nothing scarier than daylight. Bit by bit, the landscape is covered up by flyers for album releases, upcoming movies, and cleaning services. I can't help but eye the few job listings I've picked up along the way, too. It's hard finding employment when your academic references are over 100 years old, and you've got a gap in history just about as long as that. But it's sink or swim, now more than ever. Alone for the first time in my life. Truly alone. I need to figure out how I'm going to live again. Even as antiquated as I am by now, there's nothing research can't fix. Naturally, that's exactly what I did before finalizing my move. Stepping back, I admire my handiwork before reaching into my bag once again. My resume. Neatly typed and printed. It turns out typewriters have been replaced during my absence, but I can't say it's for the worse. I rather like what I've seen of computers thus far. With some help from an internet cafe attendant, who gave me more than a few confused glances, I was able to come up with this. You'll have to forgive my lack of a headshot, but really, there's nothing I could do about that unless I mailed the portrait my sire gave me along with it. Come tomorrow, I'll be dropping off my copies to every business in the area. But tonight, I can relax. It'll be good to get a feel for this place. It's been a long journey here, and an even longer journey before that. I think of my sire. I think of the first few months I was reintroduced to the world. I think of what it means to be without her now. But no matter, people come and go. A fresh start is exactly what I need to do exactly that. I climb into my coffin and close the lid. An early night sounds pretty good right now. As darkness welcomes me once again, sleep casts over me like a shroud. Despite it being the middle of winter, I can scarcely feel a chill. There's nothing but an overwhelming numbness spreading across my body. Wait, but if it's New Year's in Sydney, it's summer. Hey, wait a minute. Are we a confused vampire? Or did I... No, because they very distinctly said, welcome in 1999, missed the fireworks, everybody's going home. So yeah, that implies it's New Year's Eve, right? Or maybe this is our flashback. Maybe we were turned in the winter. Okay, you know what? I'll accept it. It's more likely that I'm wrong. Here, look, right there on the side of the neck. And I bite? That's it? She sighs gently, letting out half a laugh. Okay, yeah, we were turned in winter. Okay. It's a bit more complicated than that, but yes, bite. The person under me can't be more than a few years older than I am right now. What is he? 28? 29? I bite down. More than once. A lot more than once. Here we turn stuff up. We got some ambiance. So, I'll turn it up. If we get absolutely hammered by some voice later, I am so sorry. There's a limiter on. We'll be okay. All the while, my sire tries to guide my head to the right spot. She's speaking softly, her voice fading into the background as my ears fill with the rush of blood, a heartbeat thrumming hard and fast. It's not my own anymore. Mine stopped the day I was left in that shallow grave, a brick between my teeth and my hands tied behind my back. A false accusation, but people were scared and superstitious. Ironic that I ended up turning into the very thing they were afraid of, a vampire through and through. Now this is the closest I'll ever get to being alive again. But I'm taking someone else's. That's better. She hums, her hand stroking my hair. Next time, let's try not to take a chunk out of his shoulder, all right? She's so amused, so assured. It's like there's nothing wrong with this at all. Maybe it's true. It's only natural. The words echo around me, and all I'm left with is the feeling of her tender touch. It never feels like any time passes at all when I'm locked away in my coffin. It stretches on into an eternal night. Ugh. Well, no time to dwell on that. First things first, I should look at a map, or the yellow pages, or both. That sounds best. I know I want to take a look at the hospital down the road, St. Vincent's. Not that my medical knowledge will do much good with how things have evolved since I was last practicing, but maybe there'll be some sort of vacancy. Porter or cleaner or orderly. At this point, anything will do. I'm also getting hungry. That's an understatement. It's been a few months since I last had anything at all, and abstinence is not my forte. For all my years being submerged in this world, it's still my least favorite part. Deep down, I don't want to hurt anyone, but if I don't take care of this soon, there might be a bigger problem on my hands. I can look for something or someone down the road, but it's a bit close to home. Then there's the street that runs past the park. Not to mention, the coastline might be a safe bet, too. I have a few options. Let's try the Park Street. Park Street. This isn't the same languid perusal I had yesterday. While the humans might walk around with their sense of purpose, acting as if they're in control of their own destiny, I can outpace their any reflex, any thought, any kind of power. Can't behave like this in front of the entire world. As much of a lone wolf as I am, there's the bigger picture I always must consider. Blowing my cover is one thing, but blowing everyone else's? There must be hundreds of creatures in the area alone, all suppressing and hiding and pretending as if they were no different to the thousands of humans to match. But, in the end, there's always going to be them and us. Why should the buck always fall on us to prove them wrong? Something vile is beginning to bubble up, seeping into my view and into my mind. As lampposts whirl past me, I take to the alleys and lanes, snaking behind the many buildings that line the streets. No, there's no sense of urgency, but there is an anticipation that's growing inside me. I've been asleep for years. 100 years. And the acting I've had to do to get here, it all melts away now. There's nothing between me and the elements. Nothing to stop me from realizing who I really am. Whatever petty argument I played to myself earlier tonight about not wanting to harm has long been lost, released to the fairy winds that I can move in tandem with. First comes the release. I can wait on the guilt until tomorrow, when it will inevitably reach its crescendo and force me into its ill-fitting bindings. I can pretend that I'm something other than a hunter, but a hunter is what I am. No proselytizing and justifications will ever make a difference. This is what the world sees me as, so that is how I shall behave. Somewhere amongst the tirade, I found myself way up high, higher than the room I've confined myself to on this soon-to-be doomed journey of self-discovery. Higher than the moon itself. I give myself a bit of credit. They know how to build a high-rise. I'll give them credit. You know what? I can give myself credit, too. Bada bing! They try so hard to harness themselves that they try to harness the world, but there's things beyond their comprehension. Things they'll come to know very soon. Looking down, I let my instincts choose who I'll be picking off tonight. But there's a tug from the corner of my mind, a little piece of conscience. It doesn't have to end in bloody murder. Did I just accidentally BRB? I am so sorry. Guess I'll be back in 3. I pushed the wrong button. Son of a biscuit. Sons of biscuit. You know what? Just keep going. It's fine. Shoot. As I begin my descent, I close my eyes and allow myself to feed. That's the button I wanted. I just wanted to put links to clear out the stupid bot. It's fine. Let's feed until we're satisfied. We're getting a little into it. Let's not feel too bad about ourselves tomorrow. I can tear myself away with more ease than I thought. Of course I can. I've played through this same routine countless times before. Within me, there's every bit of governance and restraint that I need to move through this world. No matter how many times I've been hurt, it will never amount to a reason for me to inflict it on everyone around me. It hasn't been easy. Life never was, before and after I turned. That every book thrown at me, every excuse used to look down on my presence. The anger can be too much sometimes. It's worse when I have the ball in my court. In an instant, I can become just as cruel a torturer those have been to me. Not tonight, though. I lay the person in my arms down on the ground, heart still fluttering, but strong enough to survive. These past few months have been difficult as I've tried to situate myself back into humanity. And I know I can't leave the next time I feed as long as I have. This person will be found. They'll wake, not entirely unscathed, but alive. They'll think they were mugged, their wallet miraculously still intact and left only with a pain in their head from where they were knocked out. It's not ideal. A pang of guilt still hangs around my heart, but it could be far worse. I've been there when it's worse. Although I'm in the city center, it feels a lot quieter than the hustle and bustle down the road. What a difference a few blocks and some parkland can make. Palms line the boundary of the park, reaching up high into the sky. In the moonlight, they sway peacefully, cutting out shapes against the clouds. As I make my way in, I notice some strange figures and couples walking around. I can't help but feel a pang of guilt at the fact any one of them could have been my target tonight. Their lives hanging in the balance. And for what? To satisfy me. Now that I'm participating in life again, I do well to realize what that means for everyone else around me. I'm not only playing with my own, but with theirs as well. I can't leave my meals as late as I did this time around. It'll only make it riskier, and the consequences more deadly. Fountains, statues, and memorials. Pass by them all in my quest for... I'm not sure. To clear my head, get myself in order before I continue with my night. The hunger is never sated for long, and the stretches of time I get before it rears its beastly head are short. I shouldn't take this for granted. It's as I seem to be getting to the end of my stroll do I conveniently come across an entrance to the train. At least that's useful. Maybe wandering aimlessly is exactly the kind of activity I need to be doing to get my footing. I'm about to walk into the station when something suspiciously human-shaped appears right in front of me. It starts as a cloud of buzzing orbs and flecks of light, fragile and erratic. All the while I hear a small, hollow voice talking. Can you hear me? The light bulbs leading into the station start to flicker, almost like the entity is zapping the energy from the area to form its voice. It gets a little louder this time. Please, 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 please tell me you can hear me. Suddenly, a young woman dressed perfect for a night out, say 60 years ago, pops into existence. If the color draining from the world and the uneasy atmosphere weren't enough of a clue that I'm dealing with a ghost, then I don't know what would be. It's nothing out of the ordinary. But it's not often you come across someone who hasn't passed over for what clearly seems like a long time. Most hauntings get resolved in a week or less, a decade if it's gnarly. This is obviously one dissatisfied specter. Sparks start to fly from a nearby lamppost. Hey, hey! Hey, I can hear you just fine. Thankfully, that seems to do the trick. Wouldn't want to see this to seep so far that the train itself gets affected. There's enough pandemonium as it is. Oh, thank goodness. I've been trying to find someone who can help me, but there's so few people who come by here these days. It's not hard to guess why. Why don't you tell me what your name is? She flattens the hem of her dress, even though it's in perfect shape, considering she is incorporeal. Alma. You can call me Alma. I don't bother trying to shake her hand, as I know it'll slip right through it. She clearly knows she's dead, considering her whole entrance, so maybe the help in question will be to help her pass on? Never been involved with something like that. Something so serious. My entire life thus far can be described as self-serving and isolated. Yo, samesy, best friend. Hey! 2 of us! I do a small curtsy, playing the part of the chivalrous knight in shining armor. Isra, it's a pleasure. Now, what can I do for you? Do you think you could grab me a soda? That's something new. I tried not to balk at the request, but clearly I didn't do enough hiding my expression. Is that, like, insensitive or something? Because you're a vampire? No, nothing like that. I guess I'm just surprised? Oh, what? You think I can't enjoy a soda because I'm dead? Talk about small-minded. You just passed judgment on me. Oh, you're the one who's all like, oh, there's a vampire microaggression? Hey! If you're not going to be useful, then just go. Ah, jeez. All I wanted was a drink. This has spun wildly out of control. I'll grab your damn soda. I don't have an issue with getting you a soda. Alma rolls her eyes quite pointedly and crosses her arms. Then she grumbles something that would be lost on anyone but me. Could have fooled me. Most likely deliberately. Hey, you want this drink or not? 'Cause I can go home. Yes, my God, yes. I've even got the money here. I do it myself, but I can't leave the boundaries of you-know-what. Suppose even the oldest of ghosts can't escape the confines of their own dads. In some respects, I understand. Even to this day, I have to carry the soil of where I last drew breath as a human to sleep. No matter how far we travel, how long we stay attached to this earth, we're all still slaves to our pasts. Alma mimes handing over some coins, but they disappear once they land in my own hand, and she lets out a frustrated sigh. More muttering follows. First, no one sees me for 5 whole years, and now this. What's going on with me? That's a little extreme. I've never met a ghost who can do, well, anything but talk, really. I've never seen one who can physically conjure or interact with the real world, apart from the objects they might have died with. But even that, it's normal for them to dissipate once they touch anything from the world of the living. It's odd to consider myself part of that, considering I'm an affront to the living, but I'm still more alive than Alma. Maybe that's a bit rude. I've got some change, it's all right. But I used to be able to do this. Talk to people, hold things, touch, and now It's all been taken away from me again. Feel like I'm fading more day by day. This has turned into an impromptu therapy session unbeknownst to me. But that first part is intriguing. Could you really? I mean, I've never known a ghost who can. Are you saying people could touch you? Her form starts to flicker again, rapidly buzzing in and out of existence. Even though she's speaking, it sounds further and further away. I don't think this is going to hold up for very much longer. Great, line's going dead now too. Whatever. Go on, just go. I'll see you never. And with that, she fades completely. That was not expected, but interesting nonetheless. I suppose I'll have to visit again some other time. Maybe I'll get a bump into her again. All right, let's go apply for a job. Festivities are still in full swing. It was bumper to bumper all the way here, and people have continued to loudly celebrate the new year. The last year of the millennium. Who would have thought I'd ever see the day? As exciting as all that is, I've been very busy on the sidewalk, and that does not bode well for what it's going to be like inside the hospital. There's a queue of ambulances outside the ER, and that's not mentioning the horde inside. This is where someone who values their time might turn around, come back the day after, and speak with admin then, but I'm on a deadline. Not like there's an abundance of cafes who desperately need someone working from 7 p.m. onwards. Here goes nothing. And somehow, I managed to walk straight into someone. Great. So much for inhuman resilience when I can't even manage to coordinate myself. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean... It's fine. Not the first time it's happened today. The nurse I've just crashed into doesn't look that upset, at least. Mostly tired. There are dark rings under his eyes, and it looks like he might fall asleep where he stands. I don't know how long shifts last these days, but I wouldn't be surprised if he has run into the 18th hour. More importantly, he's poised to keep on walking. I looked down at his name tag. At the hospital I worked, our nurses worked 7 to 7s. Oof. Isaac, before you go, I'm a little lost. Do you know where HR is? I'm trying to find the hiring manager. There's a beat of silence before he answers, almost like a million miles away. Then he snaps back. Yeah, go straight down the hall, take a right. Keep going, you'll see Chris's office on the left. And with that, he's off. I don't mind that. Better to get straight to the point. And straight back to what I was doing. His instructions were clear enough, but that's not why I'm meandering. I'd known this was a risk to get a job in a place so tightly packed with so many beating hearts, but I hadn't expected it to be like this. There's a plethora of open wounds, bloody bandages, and more, even beneath the smell of industrial-strength bleach and antiseptic. Even though it's bearable now that I've eaten, I won't be having the luxury of feeding before every shift. Is this really where I need to be right now? I've only just managed to claw myself back from the abyss. Maybe it's wrong to surround myself with so many vulnerable people, so many humans at the mercy of my own impulse. I forced myself to breathe in deeply. No, this is going to be my life now. There's no better time than the present to start. I'll have to learn to temper myself, but the only thing that can stop me is me. I promptly moved past the patient laid up in the bed, deciding to dedicate myself in earnest to dropping off my resume and discussing the upcoming interview. There will be time to ponder over what happened there, but I don't need to get caught up in it right now. What's important is I confirm my interview and get out of here. Too many temptations, too much chaos. I don't need to walk much further because there I am, face to face with the office I've been seeking. I have a lot of questions as to why hospital admin is down a hallway that has patients in it. And like bleeding patients? What the hell kind of hospital is this? I rap my knuckles on the door and open it up after a bright voice yells, "Come in!" I guess the kind of hospital that still has admin in it after nightfall. Our admin was all on like a different floor from everything else. And like, man, they were gone at like 4:35. Hey, good evening. He gives me no chance to speak, already ushering me inside and closing the door behind me. And tell me, Mary? No, I'm here to inquire about the orderly position. Isra, I sent you an email. Isra, of course. Nice to put a face to the name. Here, hand that right over here. Leave it with me. Be in touch about an interview, but, taking a look at this already. He trails off, furrowing his brows as he reads through the paper. I brace myself. There's not a huge amount of experience I could put down, considering all my references are dead and my degree's quite useless. Let's hope I don't have to bust out the fake birth certificate next, because as much as I've tried to make it bulletproof, I don't know how much I can hold up to the scrutiny of an institution. I think you'll do just fine. Got all your health and safety done? That's the important part. We're happy to give people a chance here. But we just keep our patients out in the admin hallway, so standards are low. Then he drops his tone lower and winks. Between you and me, it's not enough people lining up for the dirty work. Yeah, it's a buyer's economy. That's not what the saying means, but he still chuckles along with my awkward laugh. Same email address? You got a best contact number? Not presently. I've recently moved. I'm still getting my landline set up, so. No cell? That's fine. Keep an eye on your inbox. We'll talk then. As quick as he whisked me into the room, he's sending me off on my way. Seems like a busy guy, but hey, I won't complain. At least it seems like I got a solid lead with this path. It's been a while since I worked a proper real job, but this'll be a nice change. Independence, productivity. Who could have seen me back here after all this time? It's too early to think of the future. Continuing education, career paths, and promotions, but feels like the start of something good and new. Now, was there anything else left on my to-do list? Reconvene! Hardly any time left in my day, with the sun fast approaching and the world I've sensed becoming estranged. It's estranged too. I'm back. And the world I've since become estranged to has begun waking up. I can see the sky start to turn pale and blue. As much as I love the summer months with everything around me blooming with life and color, I find myself being locked out at the very best of it. The nights are short, the days are long, and even if my world teems with people of every kind, I'm not one of them, and I never will be. But even if someone in this position might find themselves overwhelmed with loneliness, I can't help but feel connected with it all. It's hard to feel down when the weather is warm, fruit bats are streaking the skies, and the cockatoos are screeching as they squabble and swarm. Lazily trailing my way back home, I watch as clouds pass me by and people on their morning commute start to find their ways to cars, taxis, and the like. There's the few that were out late, tired and jovial, finding their way back to their beds the same as I. Today was successful. I don't have all the answers yet, but at least I know there's a way forward out of this uncertainty. I can really see myself living a life here. There was a time where I never thought about money, sustainability, staying grounded in one place. Worry wasn't something I ever concerned myself with, but now I'm intimately acquainted with it. I can't alienate myself, though. I know just as well as anyone else that if bodies start piling up right outside my doorstep, I won't have a place to return to. With such a high concentration of, well, let's say strangeness in the area, I wouldn't be surprised if the other side of the coin had been attracted to this place, too. Hunters, to be exact. It's a new world, but it's not that new. I'll need to keep a low profile and balance some of my accidents accordingly. I find myself at the entrance of the apartment building and brace myself for the hike upstairs. Here we go once again. Maybe I should get started on these boxes sometime soon. After all, I want to become a permanent fixture rather than a transient one myself. As those final thoughts drift through my mind, I find myself being pulled into my slumber. If there's one thing this eternal life has given me, it's the chance to see history come, go, and be made once more. All around me does the world develop at an alarming rate. Was it ever this fast when I was alive? All I remember are unending winters and unyielding summers, crops and ships and travel for the few, taxes for the many. My childhood seems as distant as a story that someone once recounted, as if it had happened to someone else rather than me. What I've experienced since has filled 10 lifetimes, if not more. It's a new opera season, and everything has changed once again. The clothes, the orchestra, the sound of song. It's all different in the very best way. Earlier this evening, my sire and I got to see the Paris Salon too. Something that I can't have imagined happening a century ago. I found that the arts, no matter what form they come in, are the very best way to stay tethered to humanity. I lean over and whisper, Robert Le Diable, I wonder if this is how the Duke is going to be remembered evermore. From the corner of my eye, I see a smile spread across her face. I fear it's more than solidified at this stage, if it's inspired song and dance. Humans always love a tale of a deal with the devil. Or the son of one, at least. That makes me wonder for a moment. Do you think you'll be remembered? If I will? My, you're in a contemplative mood tonight. Is that what you want? To be remembered? No, I don't think so. I'd rather still be alive. Me too. I hear the rumbles of the orchestra finishing their warm-up and the crowd goes silent in turn. Here's to a night to remember. I blink away the scene and find myself staring at the inside of my coffin. I could still hear the strings of the violin ringing in my ears. Normally, I found the memory would fill me with a strange sense of melancholy and longing. I'll never forget her, and I don't know if that's what she would have wanted. Or what I would have wanted. Maybe it's better for the sands of time to wash over her, smoothing out her features and washing them out to sea. How do you remember someone who so desperately wanted to live? How can a memory even do that justice? It's a pale comparison of the woman that I used to know. Sighing, I exit my bed and get started on what's to come. Got some time to kill before my interview, but it never hurts getting there early. Not to mention, I don't want to accidentally lose track of time. I could also check out the park again and see if Alma's around. There's also a few locations I haven't seen yet. Maybe it'll be good to get acquainted with some more of the locals. Or, I could pick up some supplies from the pharmacy I passed by on the way home the other day. Doesn't hurt to have some backup in case anything goes wrong during dinner one of these days. Oh, so many choices. Let's go out to the bay. We didn't see that yesterday. Take some time to move past the hustle and bustle of the roads, but as I turn downhill, there's a lot less people scattered and far more quiet. I know it's still the turn of the new year, but it's been a long time since I've lived anywhere as highly populated as this. It's nice to feel the thrum of the city, to feel the energy of every living being, but it can be overwhelming too. Everything is so new and shiny. It's hard to know where to look and what to do. I felt a slow mounting pressure to get things done ever since I awoke from my slumber and began my plans to move here. Now that I've arrived, it feels like there's an entire world that I have to get to know before I can be accepted into it. I'm not sure if I'll ever truly be welcomed, but it would be nice to. I continue walking down the hill, feeling the crisp breeze of a summer's evening blow past me. The best part of being awake at this hour is that the heat of the day has died down, leaving only its remnants now that the sun is set. It's still sticky and hot, but it's less oppressive, less demanding. Even though most of my autonomic nervous system has been rerouted in my unlife, I still don't enjoy overheating. Perhaps it's just a hangover of a habit, something my body and mind got used to, but I'm not going to let go of it yet. It's nice to feel connected in ways such as these, too. However, this might not be the best place to find a meal. There are houses aplenty, lights on in the windows and cars quietly parked for the night. I don't feel like adding breaking and entering onto my resume, especially in a neighborhood I've only just joined. I doubt anyone would suggest that as a way to meet people and make new friends. As I'm approaching the coast, do I notice a figure on the horizon? Someone swimming? The lamps don't work down here, and the only light in the area is what the moon has decided to provide. Obscured by rock and sea foam, I try to make out details of the silhouetted mystery. Let's see. Do we want to sneaky spy, or do we want to be like, yo, what's up? We doing cryptid shit? Here, let's be sneaky spies. Everything about me has been carefully chiseled and honed to be a hunting machine, subtle and foreboding. Keeping to the shadows isn't difficult. The waves are strong tonight, crashing and lapping at the limestone and providing the perfect cover for me to slink closer. The person I found myself sneaking up on keeps diving underneath the water, her hair long enough that it stays near the surface, inky against the dark waters. I hadn't anticipated it, but perhaps midnight divers could be a new food source. It's been a long, long time since I've last swam. Longer than I can even count. I can't tell anymore if the memories I have of sand underneath my feet and water rushing over them happened while I was alive or not. There's no myth I'm aware of that vampires can't swim, but tonight it seems I'll be putting it to the test. It's only as I continue closer, keep moving as slow as possible as I move down the steps, does something else catch my attention. There's movement underneath the water, rhythmic yet powerful in its strokes. Whatever. There's very little on this earth that can fight back. Everything I touch eventually comes under my control. In my haste, I manage to overlook it, moving quickly into a pounce as I leap off the side and into the water. Time seems to go to a stop, droplets sprinkling around us as the moonlight glistens, shine, and scale. Scale? As I finally finish diving underneath, do I see exactly what I've interrupted. The woman's eyes widen, her gills pulsating, and the real star of the show, her tail swinging directly at my head. I take the hit. Pure muscle that would have knocked me unconscious if I weren't already dead. Instead, my ears ring and the world underwater spinning, but I stay alert. Somehow I find my way to the surface and feel the cool air of the evening greet me. Doesn't matter, though, because I'm not up there for long. She grabs my waist and drags me back down, swimming faster than I could have imagined. Not that I ever underestimated mer people, but I didn't think my first meeting would be attempted murder. Touché. Oh no, the typeface does not have the accent version. She continues to beat against the water as it turns icy and the view of the sky overhead slowly fading. I can still feel her heartbeat despite it all, hammering violently against where I'm pressed to her body. Whatever meal I had on my lips has been replaced by curiosity now, and a touch of dull fear. I won't die. I can't die. But the pressure around us continues to mount, crushing us. Crushing me. It's as darkness, true darkness, settles in as she turned to look at me, her unexpected prey. When she sees me staring back at her, my chest still but my eyes blinking, do I show her a smile, all teeth but no malice, despite how our first meeting has been going. She stares at me and flushes, and then begins our ascent. I gladly stay limp in her arms. Did you try to bite me? Oops, caught red-handed. At least she seems amused. Yeah, I thought you were swimming. Uh-huh. Well, you weren't wrong, but maybe next time don't ambush people. Even if I was some human, you probably would have killed me. Then she looks me up and down. I suppose that's only natural for you, though, right? Ouch. Oh, we are all just microaggressioning each other here. You don't see me admonishing you for trying to kill me. You had no idea I was a vampire. You didn't care. The conversation has taken a turn quite quickly. I was only defending myself. You attacked me. Yeah, and I'm sure going straight to manslaughter is a proper way to deal with that. What, you like doing that to unsuspecting swimmers? I don't know why I'm getting so defensive. For all intents and purposes, she's not wrong and I've made an ass of myself. I'm not the only one who has to watch my back. Every person who lives on the fringes of society has felt that anxiety. Knows how quickly friend can turn to foe. It's not wrong protecting yourself. She looks hurt and a little angry. I sigh and drag myself out of the water onto the pavement. Sorry, that was uncalled for. Let's start over. She takes a long look at me. Oh, I am missing my job interview for sure. Okay. Don't make me regret it, though. I'm Sonny. I reach out my hand as she takes it, emerging out of the water to sit next to me. Isra, it's nice meeting you. Didn't realize this was such a lively bay. I moved in just up the road. Don't think it'll stay that lively if you keep that whole routine up. I shoot her a look, but all she does is smile back at me. I guess I can let that slide. I did start this after all. But it's nice to see a new face. I don't get many visitors around here due to all this. She waves dismissively at her tail and, yeah, I get the point. It's odd to run into a mermaid alone. Every tall tale I've ever heard of has always painted them as communal creatures, traveling together wherever that may be. Completely unlike the existence I found myself in. Rare to find another one of me, let alone get along with them. The most luck you often have is staying with your sire until it eventually ends in tragedy, whether at your hand, theirs, or some meddling hunter. It's not that unusual to move from town to town, never welcome and never quite at home. Oh, now we're gonna have to find out what happened between us and our sire. Which of the three was it? It's everything that mer people are supposed to be the opposite of. Their home is wherever they are and whoever they're with. Yeah, sure, we'll go with any tips for a new face then? Other than don't kill people and try to keep your head down? Well, I think you'll figure it out pretty quick. How long have you been? She waves her hand around. Like that. I wink. A lady never tells. Besides, I like to think I'm young at heart. Now you're sounding your age. All right, I think I get the picture. I'll be staying here for a while, though. I hope. I can't say I hope for the same myself, but she looks out into the distance as she trails her hand in the water. It's a nice place. Different, but nice. You really won't find many people down here, I'm serious. It's dead at this time of night. And I don't know the intricacies of your diet, but you'd do better further up the road. Duly noted. It's very peaceful. Not so much during the day, you'd be surprised. I have to swim quite a bit further out. The boats are horrendous. She punctuates that with a noise of disgust, and I can't help but wonder if the bay looks the same as it does from my window. It's fascinating from above, but I never thought about it from below. I've had a hard enough time blending in with the increased technology and industrialization. I suppose not even the seas are safe from it now either. Suppose I must have interrupted your alone time then. Sorry for that. Sonny scrunches her nose. Whether that's a good expression or a bad one, I'm not quite sure. But she doesn't sound upset when she speaks again. It might have been a blessing in disguise, you never know. I've not spoken to anyone in a while. I was curious about that. Why? Did the tail not tip you off? Can't exactly talk to every passerby. No, I didn't mean that. Where's the rest of your clutch? She looks a little stricken, and a lot more apprehensive than I could have expected. Should have expected this to be a sensitive topic, but I'm not really sure what I was thinking, really. You're being too straightforward with someone I barely know. And who barely likes me? The vulnerability of being on your own. Now that's something I can relate to. I'm not sure. Kind of lost them on the way here, but I'm bound to be heading back the way I came soon. She perks up at the end of that statement, and I take that as my cue not to dig any deeper than I already have. Oh, so I guess I won't be seeing you again? Sorry for such a bad first and last impression. The water on everything has started to dry in the remaining heat of the day, and I can barely even feel the chilly breeze of evening set in. I look up at the sky again, obscured by a canopy of trees and clouds slowly rolling in. Time for apologies is long past now. You're redeeming yourself already. Then, she narrows her eyes. Maybe. I'm still making up my mind about you. Well, I promise not to attack you again. Truce? Sunny laughs as she takes my hand to shake it. All right, truce. I can't say it's not nice to speak freely to someone again. I smile at her, teeth explicitly not bared, before leaning back on the pavement. Me too, it's been... Can't even say how long it's been. Hey, actually, how long have you... A loud crash from nearby cuts me off before I finish my sentence, and I whip around to see what could have caused the commotion. There's nothing in sight but paws against concrete, a knocked-over bin, decidedly non-human shuffling. Some sort of animal for sure. Nothing to worry about. Must be some cat. Anyway, Suni? I turn around to find no one there. Suppose that's my cue to leave too. Alright, let's go to our interview. Can't lie, I have pre-interview jitters. I'm not nervous in the traditional sense. I'm investing in this job, sure, but there'll always be others available if it doesn't work out. But above all else, I don't want my cover blown. These days, there's background check after background check. When they ushered in the 20th century, they brought with them added security too. Much as I want everything to align when I go in today, I don't know if it will. Is it bad to say I miss how nepotism used to work? I'd much rather integrate myself with someone and get a job that way without someone looking up driver's license details on a computer. Oh, nepotism's alive and well. Don't worry about it. Oh well, that time is long gone. If only. Straightening out my shirt, I take a deep breath and walk into the hospital. Somehow, amongst the hustle and bustle, I managed to spot that nurse from before. Isaac. Good omen, perhaps? To no one's surprise, he looks busy as he flips through some papers in his hand. I'm not sure what's good courtesy in this situation. Would it be fine if I said hello? Yeah, you can say hi. You can say, hey, thanks. Thanks for the directions. I'm actually back for an interview now. I don't want to encroach on his territory. I don't even know if I'll be working here, let alone seeing him on the daily. But it wouldn't hurt to reach out. Yeah, it's just throw a thanks to him, you know. Hey, Isaac, right? Nice to see you again. Isaac looks up for a brief second, then back down at the clipboard in his hand. I remember when that used to be me, writing down notes and handing out scalpels. Then, a few decades later, I was the one being handed the blades. There's a twinge of envy when I realize that's not going to be in the books for me anytime soon. It's a long ladder to climb, one that's a lot harder. Being back in this environment is bittersweet. All of that seems to be lost on the man in front of me, who seems more intent on getting back to work than being interrupted by someone like myself. Yeah, good to see you too. Dead air fills the space between us. I clear my throat and keep talking. Thanks for the directions the other day, by the way. Would have taken me ages to find the right wing. Hospitals, am I right? Right. Well, I got that interview coming up in a few minutes, so hey, maybe I'll be seeing you again soon. Hey! This time he puts the clipboard down on the reception counter and looks at me when he talks. Oh, yeah, for sure. Good luck with that. You'll do great. He gives me an awkward pat on the arm, then turns to walk in the other direction. Pat on the arm? That's gotta be a step in the right direction, right? Very least we're building rapport. Maybe 10 more weeks of this and we'll have graduated to talking about the weather. I gather myself and get going, because, truthfully, I don't have the time to stand around and chat. Last thing I want is to show up late when I'm already here and ready. Start making my way down the same corridor once again to find Chris's office. This time, there's no body lingering for me in the hallway. At least I don't have to worry about temptations before heading in today. It wouldn't do well to lean in for a handshake and worry about the blood on my breath. Well, on my jacket, the best suit I had in my closet despite the moth holes around the sleeves. Once and twice, then a third time for good luck before I knock on the door to his office. Once I hear him shout out, "Come on in!" I spend a second mentally preparing myself. Keep it vague. Keep it brief. And keep it on topic. I know I can do this job. All I've got to do is make him see that too. I open up the door. Let's get this over and done with. One relatively straightforward interview later, and I've got the next year of my life sorted. It's not the most glamorous role, but I've never been one to shy away from dirty work. It's respectable. It pays. All right. And it's got all the right hours. Push comes to shove, there'll be easier access to food, too. No more people, though. Blood bags only from now on. Maybe. Not like it's much better, considering how they're in short supply and patients are the opposite. That's all to say, it ticks my every box. Now that I'm in the system, who knows? Maybe I'll be signing up to night classes next. There was a bulletin in Chris's office, nice and supplied with nursing courses, phlebotomy classes, and something called radiology. First, though, I can't wait to buy a chest of drawers and a bedside table. Running out of time to get things done, and the last thing I want is to see my last sunrise again. Take my time on the walk back to the apartment, surveying my surroundings. This will be the route I take from now on, night after night. Although the sun is set to peek up any moment. Peek up behind the bed. I like the crosswalk sound. Although the sun is set to peek up beyond the horizon any minute now, it's still dark and cold in the back streets of the suburb. The trees obscure the sky and there's wet in the air, the ever-present humidity cloaking the world with its oppressive force. There's still a sense of apprehension that punctuates my every thought. I've not gotten to know anyone yet. Not really. There's been brief introductions, sure, but it's hard to break into someplace new when you're as much of a stranger as everyone else is. It's in the quiet moments, the ones where I can no longer occupy myself with mental checklists and the usual worries, that I find myself thinking of her. Even when we moved from city to city, town to town, I felt invincible. There was not a single thing we couldn't do or tackle. Life is so much easier when it's two against all. Now when I walk home, I know there's day that will stretch out ahead of me, long and unyielding in its melancholy. I try to shake creeping gloom away. At least I've met some people though, right? There's no quick and easy way of making friends and finding new ones. Patience is all there is, and I've an abundance of it at the previous years or anything to go by. With time and dedication, everything will be fine. My windows are covered with more than what's necessary, but the room has become a lot brighter now that the day has started. That's my cue to get ready to sleep. I send out a silent hope that I won't see her in my dreams tonight. I'd like to spend some time without the same memories playing on repeat. It's been aeons since I was last in a lecture hall. I've been saddled with the furthest aisle, peering down at a cadaver in the center of the room as I'm sat high above where all the action is taking place. It feels good to be learning again. What's being demonstrated today is an appendectomy, a first for many people in this room. I get caught up in my thoughts for a moment, considering the fact I've been in this very position thousands of times before, seen history in the making, but soon I realize that I'm not the only one. It's no unique position of mine. Everyone else here is witnessing the very same act, the very same progression, the very same history. How short-sighted to think I'm the only being on this earth to experience this feeling. Every human that's lived throughout history has seen kingdoms rise and fall, inventions being made and discoveries being unearthed. Most often it happens several times over before it really sticks. That's true. We cured scurvy and then, forgot, and then they had to rediscover that, vitamin C is what prevents scurvy. We lost it. We lost it for, a century in there. They were sending, sailors out with vinegar and stuff because they were maybe it's sour thing. Maybe sour thing? And yeah, it took them some time before they rediscovered limes and, let alone once, we really got deep into germ theory and stuff. What else did we do that with? Earth being round. We knew the Earth was round. Then we got a couple of people really into the theory that it was flat, and then we had to kind of reconvene and be like, no, it's round. It's round. And now we're coming right back around to the crazy people thinking it's flat, but, you know, what else are you gonna do? Strikes me as though this is a very human thought. So is this. So is being generally disappointed with humanity. It also strikes me that I'm missing all the important parts, but there will be several demonstrations throughout the week. After all, we'd all do well to truly understand this new wave of science. A lot more people's lives could be saved as a result. Writing down a few sparse notes, I think of what I need to pick up tomorrow. We've been trying very hard to make this place our permanent home, setting down roots and ensuring our longevity in the area. For that reason, it'll be the first time we're having guests over in the new house. I even brought the orrery out of storage, though I don't know how many people will be impressed with that particular trick anymore. Either way, it's a beautiful classic, and it's sure to wow them, even if only a touch. Then there's the matter of food, but right now, I couldn't care less how I'm getting it. It'll be fun to use the kitchen. Recently, I unpacked a recipe book. Its pages yellowed with age and unglued from its bindings, but it smelled a little of home. No, it's my imagination, the book too new and the language different, but I still can't help thinking of my faceless mother, warm, inviting, as luminescent as the sun itself, cooking me dinner as I swung my feet back and forth on a chair. It's an old wound, but it still stings sometimes. I focus my attention back onto the lesson at hand, watching with intent as the skin is peeled back. I blink away from the memory, trying to ignore the uncomfortable tightness in my chest. That's the most recent one I've had yet. Somewhere deep down, I know that soon I'll be confronted with. That night, I don't want to face it yet. I take in a deep breath and then another. It won't be creeping up on me tonight, however. Exiting my coffin, I pretend to ignore my surroundings and instead focus on my plans for the evening. I don't have anything urgent to do, having already gotten the painful part of job interviews over and done with, so I suppose I'm rather free to do anything tonight. It'll be my last free moment before my week is structured and organized with my shifts established and steady. I think it might be nice to revisit some place I already saw. After all, it might be the last time in a while before I'm able to go there again. Oh, we can only go back to the park. All right. Let's roll. Thankfully, living so close to the station makes it simple to get into the city true. I have to say, I've been intrigued about Alma. It's not every day that you get to talk to a ghost before they pass on. Not that I feel some kind of responsibility to help her on her way. I'm not sure where the line is when it comes to this. I'm curious, deathly so, but I don't want to be rude, shooting off questions at her. I've had time to come to terms with my own end. That doesn't mean she has. That being said, I'm still going to ask questions. Before heading out of the station, I decide to grab a can of soda for her. It'll be a good peace offering, even if I have my doubts that she'll be even able to drink it. As soon as I step the threshold from the underground to the surface, I feel the sharp drop in temperature that tells me she must be nearby. Hello, Alma? I bought that drink for you. Initially, there's no response. Only the soft crackling of static energy and the bugs nestled in the plant life creating their music of the night. It takes some time before the lights start to flicker in and out and her melodic voice starts to echo around me. I don't have to worry about being seen as a madman, considering the park is just as empty as it was the night before. Her presence must be a spectacularly strong one to scare off most people. It's not a lemonade. I don't want it. Despite the prior warnings, she still takes me off guard. I spin around to face her. Well, maybe next time you should give more precise instructions. She raises an eyebrow at that and crosses her arm. You were a little too busy arguing with me. Don't you remember? Yeah, I wanted to know more about you first. You didn't see me asking you for your life story. That's because you didn't ask me anything at all. Next time, try some courtesy first. She rolls her eyes again at me, floating a little higher than she was before. As much as I enjoy my current form, there's still a few things I'm quite jealous of, levitating being one of them. It would be nice to add that to my repertoire. Maybe in some other life where I get to die. You are the one acting like I was bestowing some great quest upon you, almighty one. Ugh, just give that to me. It would be nice to meet somebody who's not a jackass one of these days. I throw her the can and, unsurprisingly, it lands with a loud thud on the ground, going straight through her. Alma looks down now, where the can is now spewing drink all over the ground. She sinks closer to it, trying her hand at grabbing it. Nothing happens. Ah, thanks for nothing. God! I throw my hands up. Listen, that's not my problem. Are we done with the delusions of grandeur yet? A light bulb in the distance blows up in response, but she seems to settle down after that. Point taken. Tread carefully. You can leave if you're going to stand there and insult me all night. I've got better things to do. How did we even get to this point? I'm not sure what wrong turn I've taken, but she seems to be offended at the mere notion that I wanted to get to know her. Although I can sympathize, I'm not necessarily interested in people prying and assuming things about me. Maybe it's better to take a more subtle approach. Girl, you surprised me. It's not every day that I get accosted for soda by random ghosts. Alma snorts in response, twirling her hair with a finger as a smile spreads across her face. Well, when you put it like that, it drops as quick as she put up that front. Is that what you're expecting? No! You've got an attitude problem that you've got to work on, not the other way around. Fine, whatever. At least it seems she said her piece. I guess I should afford her more patience considering the circumstances. Getting hunted down by villages and burned alive wasn't all that pleasant, and I've had several times longer to get past all that with immortality thrown into the mix. Who knows what happened to make her like this? How long have you been around here? You do not play a convincing part, let me tell you. I'm not about to take pointers from somebody who looks better suited for Halloween, thank you. I'm doing fine. I did a lot better than you with mingling with the locals, back when I could. No, seriously, when did you get into town? I don't see you lot around here often. Arrived during New Year's. Haven't had the pleasure to meet many of the local. I dropped my voice and surveyed the area. Call me paranoid, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. Alma doesn't seem to get the memo because she looks extremely amused at my reluctance to discuss this. What? You allergic to the word as well as sunlight? She wiggles her fingers and does a little ooh before trying her best at a Transylvanian accent. You're obviously a vampire. I doubt anyone cares. Certainly not the clan or coven or whatever you call it. I think they're down like 5 blocks or something. You should take a look. Maybe they can teach you how to use a cell phone. You know, like a mentorship program so you don't lose it if you see a lava lamp. I've been accused of many things, but not being out of date, that's a step too far. How old do you think I am? Geriatric, dude. No doubt about it. And who are you to judge? I've seen the magazines, I've watched television. I think you're a few decades too late yourself. I can't help what I look like. You, on the other hand. Yikes. No style. And you prance around like you're a Victorian dandy? Face it, you have your work cut out for you. And this is your pitch to what? Give me a makeover? Please. I know a lost cause when I see one. She doesn't seem quite finished and she keeps eyeing me as if she's waiting for me to crack or something. But I'm willing to make a deal. I teach you how to not get caught by people wielding pitchforks and wooden stakes. You let me get my confidence back with people. Sound good? She seems to be vastly underestimating how good I already am at not getting caught by pitchforks and stake-wielding lunatics, but it's not like I'm a faux pas with everything this century has to offer. Or that I got a budding social life. At least this way, I might have a good way to pass the time. Alma isn't that bad to talk to, even if every second sentence seems to be an insult on my person. She likes to fight! It's fine. Sometimes the girlies just like to fight. Maybe I'll get a chance to hear more about this group of vampires that have nested in the city. Though I'm still not sure if that's the type of crowd I want to immerse myself with. You don't seem that lacking in confidence from where I'm standing, but sounds good, I suppose. You haven't seen the worst of it yet. That performance I put on for you the other day? That's what a lack of confidence looks like. Now shake my hand so it's official. Not sure what she's hoping for, considering we just saw what happens when she tries to interact with the world only moments earlier, but I decide to humor her. I stick my hand out and she takes a moment to take it, but surprisingly, she does just that. It's a chill so cold that it feels wet around my hand when Alma finally shakes it. Yes! Ah, yes! Back in business, baby! I'm in as much shock as she is, but there's not much longer to celebrate. Her form flickers rapidly in and out of existence, her hootin' and hollerin' filling the night air before she finally blips out entirely. Guess my skepticism wasn't entirely warranted this time around. Maybe I'll actually learn a thing or two with her. Her joy seems to carry me all the way back on the train and then some. Same walk home I've done several times by now, but something feels new about it tonight. There's an atmosphere that's normally lacking, buoyant and spirited. It's the first time since I've awoken that I don't feel wholly alone. Despite the fact I'm still on my way to an empty dwelling, an empty apartment, where once I used to be greeted by the person I believed I'd spend the rest of Earth's days with, I think less of her absence and more of the presence around me. I know that once I climb up the numerous stairs awaiting me, the mood will fade, and I'll be left with the somber remnants of the day, but right now, I cling to the small comfort that Alma has provided. She might be a menace, loud, moody, but she has something I seem to be lacking. There's still a nagging sense of curiosity that makes me want to sift through everything she's lived through, everything she's seen, but I try to quieten that part of myself. Alma's made it clear she doesn't want some nosy stranger poking in her business, a sentiment I can appreciate. So, all that's left to do is allow her to open up in her own time. After all, she's stuck around on this planet for so long that I doubt she'll let up on her unfinished business anytime soon. As the cramped streets melt away into leafy canopies, I take note of the first few stray sunbeams. There are birds whistling loudly above me, signaling the start of the day in earnest. Next time, I better take more notice of the time. The trains aren't as reliable as I seemed to have once believed. Once I reach my apartment, I take a few moments to assess the damage, so to speak. There's a coat of dust on every surface and plenty of half-filled boxes to trip on. What is it that I'm doing here, really? There's a creeping apprehension every time I look in the direction of my imaginary to-do list, one that's plastered on every corner of every wall. I know the real reason I've avoided sorting through my things thus far. There's a world of memories stored alongside all the memorabilia I've collected through the years. Sometimes I come home and I want to throw everything away, start fresh and become a brand new person without all this baggage. But then I can't bring myself to lose anything more when I've already lost so much. There's an eternal game of tug-of-war each time I come back home. There'll be no more avoiding it. Tomorrow, I'll get started on these boxes once and for all. Are we done, onion rings? Aww. But I want more. No. Oh. No. Oh, the crushing disappointment of a demo ending when you don't want it to end. Man. I'm gonna need a day so I can make plans. 'Cause I won't be there. Oh man. I'm so upset right now. I'm so upset. What do you mean? Well, dang. I liked that. I guess we got a few CGs we didn't get because we didn't go to like the pharmacy and stuff. Oh man. No, that was really intriguing. I was having a really good time with that. Well, shoot. I guess.